Hello, everyone. Today is July 14th, 2022. This is the Kubernetes Storage SIG meeting. Today, we're going to go over 1.25 planning spreadsheet. And then there are a few things that we need to discuss after that. Just to look at the spreadsheet now. The first one is delegate FS group to CSI driver instead of kubelet. Do we have Fabio or Haman here? So, okay, let me actually add a column. I believe Haman has a CSI spec PR submitted. So I think it's the same as last time, probably. I don't know if there's any more update. Is Haman here yet? No? Okay. So the next one, this is recovering from reset failure. I think we need to write E2 test in this release so that we can move this to beta next. Is Haman here? I think yesterday Haman said he's going to have someone work on this one. That's what I heard last time. So I'll just say next one is issues related to assuming volumes are mark points. I think Xing is on PTO, so does anyone know the status? Yang, do you know status of this?
I haven't seen any change, any PR.
I'll just say no update. And is that the same for the next one? No update, or is it? I think this is two related, I believe. Determine mark points without.
There has been some discussion on in the PR. I think it's still not merged, but it's getting close. That's my impression.
Okay, just say getting close. Merge. Thank you. So this one is done, and next one is a CSI ephemeral volumes. Jonathan, Yang.
Yeah, sorry, I was thinking CSI inline. Yes, so I've not made much more progress since last time, but I still think we're on track for this release. I just have some manual testing to do, and then I need to promote some of the E2E tests to conformance tests. So I need to get that started so I can get the PR out for review.
Okay. Oh, actually, should actually look at our timeline. It's actually the code freeze is coming August 2nd. So it's actually less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know that's coming up very soon.
Yeah, test freeze. I think there's 1 more week for test freeze, so that's 9th. Yeah, so this one, but still, it's time flies. Okay. Next one is a local ephemeral storage resource management. So Jean, I think Jean cannot join today. She did add a issue. She did add something in this in the stock, so we can talk about that a little later. So there's some comments. Voting group API. So I think we talked about this last time. I think we still have not decided on whether we need to have like 2 objects or just 1 object is enough. Yes, I think we still need to spend some time looking into this one. So still in. Now, Michelle, do you have a strong opinion about whether we need to have this 2 objects to support the, the kind of static provisioning that we always do with this like PVC model or with the voting group? Do you have a strong opinion on this one that we have to have the same specify this voting group handle has to be in this admin space object?
At least for me, I think it's going to really depend on the use cases, right?
Okay.
I think that's what we need to evaluate. I would all be up for a single object model if that's sufficient for the use cases. But yeah, it really depends.
Okay. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is probably maybe I because I know there are some implementation of this already. So we also started to do a POC, but I think there is already some implementation out there. Maybe I will just see what they did. So those are just to see what other, if people really require this specific use case. So I'm just saying, I'll do that. This to do for me is to okay. Done, and then next one is a boarding house. Okay, so I think Ran is working on E2E test, but I have not seen a PR yet, so still E2E test pending. But I did submit a PR to promote the CSI spec to GA because there are a few boarding house related CSI spec like capabilities and RPCs that are experimental right now, are in alpha. So I submitted a PR to promote that. And next one, Cozy. Do we have Sid here? So, so for this one, since the CAPs merged, there are a few new contributors joined the meeting, the Cozy meeting, which actually it's going to happen right after this meeting. So it's on Thursday, every Thursday at this time. So right now, basically, folks are trying to update the APIs, the Cozy spec, and the controller based on the merge cap. So to say, well,
yeah, I talked to Sid about this a few days ago, and he said, yeah, now that the new APIs are merged, it's a matter of bringing all the sidecars and controllers up to date with the spec, and they have some PRs, but it's still a work in progress. Like
okay.
so, some PRs are out, some PRs are not even ready for review, and I think there will be maybe half a dozen. I'm not sure how many total.
Yeah, I think the first thing is the spec side basically, and then there are basically everything that needs to be updated for this.
Right, and once all those changes occur to the sidecar and to the controllers, et cetera, then in principle someone could implement the current alpha as a POC, which is what we intend to do.
Right, and also
but we have to wait.
There's also CI, right? So we need to cut a release. So I think we need to bring that up to speed. I think there is some basic there, but needs to be updated. So we can, we can see if there's a progress made in the meeting right after this one. Okay, so next one is the node expansion secret. I think this one is the implementation is done. Basically, just I think the doc PR is not out yet. So basically, PR. Actually, there is a PR a long time ago because we didn't make it last time. So just need to update the stock PR. Next one is secure Linux relabeling.
Well, I'm waiting for API review for quite some time. Michelle, if you are here, it could help with that. And giving the deadline like early August, I'm thinking it's going to slip the next release again.
Really? Because of API review, or because there's still a lot of coding need to be done? Or?
I still have, I need to rework completely the volume reconstruction, and then I need to implement the feature. Like I have PRs for all that, but I think we will get stuck at the review of those PRs because they changed quite a lot of code.
Mm.
I think if the API review is done, then rest of the PRs, like, we're behind a feature gate. So, I mean,
yeah. It is possible, but yeah, I would need the API review right now.
Yeah, I'll take a look. I think it was very close, just like wording things. So I think it should be fine.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. And next one is a CSI migration, move core to GA. Java, Matt, Michelle, is this?
I think this has been done.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. So, did we have any open bugs on this? So we should be all set in terms of like the cap and that kind of thing.
So it's basically the feature gate. I mean, there should be a code PR, right? Is that one merged? I do not remember.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The PR to flip the feature gate has merged, and there was one outstanding bug related to volume limits.
Okay.
And that has also merged.
Oh,
and
great.
So now I don't know of any outstanding bugs.
Awesome. So it's probably just to do is just a doc, I think. And also, can Java write a blog about this again?
Yeah, maybe.
GA, it's good to have a blog.
Yeah.
Can you help ping him about this?
Yeah, I'll ping him on that.
Thank you. All right, that's good. And okay, so next one, CSI migration vSphere. So the main PR to flip the feature gate is also merged. I think Haman have some comments on mainly the E2 test, right? So I think the vSphere team is working on this, providing the tests. So. Think so. So we have some E2 tests ourselves in our Csi Java repo. I think those are all tested. So I think I believe they may have already posted the results there. But I think Haman, you point out to this there's an in-tree test So they're going to look into that next. And then there's also some E3 test entry, which is under the vSphere repo. That was also, that was run last time when we, I think, first bring the feature to beta. So, oh, actually, I should say this is not feature gate. This is a turn it on by default.
Yeah, I guess the those tests, like the entry tests passing with the migration enable is kind of like, I mean, yeah, those are like the overarching requirement for the driver migration.
Okay,
So,
yeah. So it's I think we're working on that.
did we make the Windows support like beta or GA? What is the status on that
I
driver?
believe Windows support is alpha.
Alpha still, okay.
Because of the there was a couple of issues with the CSI proxy. I think we opened the issues there. I forgot what was performance or something. I forgot what was the issue. There were like, I remember there were two things. Right, so those are, but those are not vSphere specific issue basically, at least those open issues. But because of that, I think we didn't make it GA.
So, okay. I think we also need to, previously we deprecated like older than 6.7U3, 7.0U2, all this version. Now we need to, in this release, we need to just, we have to cover that, okay, the support is completely removed for those versions of vSphere. And that needs to go like loud and clear. I'll make a note in the PR.
That is already, it is already in the document and is already in the release note. Last time, right? I think it's we added, I believe I did last time in last release in 1.24.
We just deprecated it, if I'm not wrong. We deprecated it.
We said that you should we in the Kubernetes document we already said that you need to update to 7.0U2. That's in the Kubernetes website, Kubernetes website basically.
Okay, and we can sync.
You can take a look. Yeah, you can, if you have more, yeah, definitely you can add it to there. And then, yeah. And also I think we also need to update our doc. We have our own driver doc. So that one needs to be, we will update that one. Basically that one still has the 6.7 there. So we'll remove that one as well. From that, that's the official doc. I mean, that's our official doc.
Yeah, so I'm reading the release notes, the old one, it just deprecates it. So,
but if you, but I think you can take a look of the Kubernetes website. That one marked vSphere volume as deprecated now.
Yeah, deprecated is not same as removed support. I'm saying that in this release we are removing the support for entirely, and that should be clarified.
So okay, so what do you want? Do you add the release notes? How do you want to say this is removed?
Yeah, anything 7.0U2 support is removed from vSphere. To install or upgrade to 125, you must be running vSphere 7.0.
Can you maybe, okay, so maybe you can add that in that PR so we can make sure that exactly what is the requirement there.
Okay.
All right. Oh, what do I add a note? Okay, and the next one is system migration GA. This is done, right? Is this code also complete? Matt?
Yeah, this should be all set. Again, I don't know if we need any doc or blog thing, or if that's subsumed by the the overall stuff you're always working on.
I think.
Actually, I think it may need the feature gate code actually.
Oh, you're saying you didn't submit that PR yet? Oh, okay, then you need that.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I've been out on vacation the last week or so and still getting caught up.
Oh, okay. It's in PR too. And then I think this one definitely needs a doc change. But I think for the blog, we can just have that common blog.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that enough? Then you can have a section talking about like particular drivers.
Yep.
I think each driver can have a session if they want.
Yep.
Okay.
That makes sense. I can coordinate with Java and Michelle on that.
Okay. Thank you. And CS migration AWS going GA. Is this I also don't remember the status. I need to double check. Is the PR already merged? Does anyone remember? I need to go double check this one. Is Saad, Michelle, you remember about this one? This is we know the cap is merged, but is there a PR merged already, or this is AWS CSM migration? I do not remember.
No, I have not seen anything. I'll ping that on.
Okay. I remember or maybe that's just a cap. I remember there was some communication on Slack, but that's probably just update the cap. Yeah. And so the next two, Seth, is humble here today. So, so I pinned him. He did get back to me today, but he said the basic Seth RBD, he need to work on the tests. Need to need to publish the test results. So. And then for this one, for the next one, Seth FS, this is going alpha. This one is also, I think he said he's going to submit a PR. And this next one, CSM migration port works. So the main PR is already merged. So we need a doc. Gluster FS entry plugin deprecation. I forgot to. I need to pin Humble Watson. I'll pin him. And the next two, I think we are just tracking the E2 test for the next two because they are saying alpha in this release. Always owner reclaim policy. Let's see, Deepak is probably not on call today. So he has not got a chance to work on the CS, but he said he will work on this one. Yeah. Yes. And then this next one is Ronak is looking into this one. Basically, we talked about this in the CSI implementation meeting for convert volume mode, control volume mode conversion. So we will add those tests in the external snapshot repo. But for that, since this is the first time we're doing this, there's a lot of work involved just to getting that set up. So he said, Ronald said it will take more time, basically, but he will be working on that. And the next one is secret protection. Yeah. So Masaki here.
Yeah. In-use protection stays in design.
Okay.
Yeah. So you need to update 39 to design in the econ.
Okay, so both are in design, right?
Yep.
All right. Thank you. And non-graceful notion. Yeah, this one is also the E2 test. This is still in progress. Not submitted yet. And the next one is a PVC created by stable set will not be auto removed. Matt, do you have an update on this?
Yeah, so the next steps are the alpha to beta, feature gate code change, and then docs need to be updated.
Now, does this one already have E2 tests?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I mean, it isn't, because it's behind a feature gate, like I'm not actually sure in which crowd job that those are run, but there are E2E tests.
I mean, did you add any E2 tests for this feature?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. That's good.
I did.
So this one is basically you have not submitted this yet, right? You will submit PR for this feature gate.
Yeah, the change to mark the feature gate beta.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Cool. Just say we'll submit PR for this. Yeah, but it's good. It's the most important thing is E3 test with a lot of features. This time could not make to beta because there's no E3 tests.
Gotcha.
And next one is the volume expansion for stable set. Haman, do you know if there's any update on this? Or are we just waiting for? And there is a PR. There is a cap, updated cap submitted, right?
Yeah, I think we just waiting, like we are waiting for the design and like follow-up meetings on this one. We have not made, there's been no update since last actually, so.
Okay. Right. Next one is a better default sorting class. The Roman Young.
There has been no update, but there should be some soon.
Okay, so basically Roman is working on the code changes,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yes.
Right. Okay, thank you. And next one is handle per volume CSI driver capabilities. Ben?
So we're continuing to have talks about what we want to do here. I can't say that we have progress other than that I think we're starting to close the door on any possibilities for doing this through splitting drivers into multiple CSI drivers. All of the enhancements that would enable running multiple CSI drivers, we still would like to see, but I don't think we're going to solve this problem that way. Whether we can, I guess I will say I made a proposal a couple weeks back to introduce the concept of a subtype for each volume that would be generated by the CSI driver and stored by Kubernetes, that would give Kubernetes the ability to, distinguish between different types of volumes generated within a CSI driver. But there's still some snags. It doesn't solve all the use cases. So we're trying to see if we can sort those out and maybe make a proposal that would be acceptable. If we can't, we don't have any better ideas. So that's what that stands.
Okay, thank you, Ben. Okay, so that's all we have on the spreadsheet. Now go back here, we'll look at this PRs. This one has, this is Deep added this one. Is Deep here? Hey, Deep.
Hey, yeah. This is just a quick, I guess, reminder for a PR submitted by Ibo. This was around doing like basically, I think the scheduling SIG, they introduced this new way of filtering results called pre-filter result. And so basically this is an enhancement in the volume binding plugin to use the pre-filter result to kind of better basically shrink down the number of nodes that should be considered for scheduling. And this has sort of a beneficial effect for local PVs because they're just bound to one node. So it doesn't make sense to evaluate all the nodes, and the new pre-filter result mechanism allows you to do this. I think we discussed this once before, and I think maybe Jan had some context, but basically this is like ready for another review. I also noticed this just got the rebase stack added like yesterday night, so we'll do that. So,
Okay. But I don't see any review comments from SIG storage. It looks like it's all from there is some. Okay, so we have a code feed, but mostly it's from the scheduling side, right? So
yeah.
So Jan and okay, so you look at it, Jan, Michelle, maybe you. Do you want to take a look of this one?
Yeah, I'll take a look at this.
Okay.
Yeah,
It looks
I
like
don't
I'm
know.
assigned to it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
I'll say, I'll just. Jan will take a look as well. Or
Well, I just wanted to say, like, I don't know much about scheduler and
okay.
and the topology scheduling.
Okay, that's fine. I think if Michelle can, I think Michelle is probably most familiar with that code. So if Michelle can take a look, that'll be good.
Yeah, I'll take a look.
Okay, great. And then Jean added a few things here. So she just want to get some feedback, but she's traveling, so she can't join the call. So now the first one, this is the feature that she's trying to bring to GA, local storage capacity isolation. So there is a concern from this other Ben. Basically, he was saying there are on some systems like kind, you can't really use this feature. So he was saying that because it can't detect the root file system disk usage, so they actually disable this feature with the feature gate. So now that's the problem. If we bring this to GA, then they don't have this feature gate to disable anymore. So Jane is thinking that she can maybe add a flag. It's like a kubelet configuration flag called enable local storage capacity isolation. So if the system does not really have a way to detect root disk usage, then they just set this to false. They don't use this feature. Does anyone have any concerns about this approach? No? This sounds reasonable. But I think definitely we need to go to SIG node, right? Because there's a kubelet flag. Need to ask them, but like we don't have any concerns from our side.
It sounds okay to me.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like there are just some configurations that can't use this feature, so we need to provide some way to disable it.
Let's say storage. So this one I think is a yes because this is they will have to approve those changes in kubelet configuration. All right, thank you. So that's the one. And then second one is this, I think someone submitted this PR. So, okay, Okay, so I think it's easier just to read this one here. Should I do this one here? So basically, what happens is Windows containers are created with a default volume size of 20 GB. So I think, does it make sense? So basically add a new field to Windows container resource CRI API object, specify the size of rootfs scratch space used for Windows containers. So there's a PR submitted here for this. Does it make sense for this change? And then there's I think there's a comment here. Oh, did deep you actually added some? Was that different one or okay?
Yeah, I think
Just
that's the
added,
next one.
that's the next one. All right. Okay, so I think Xing actually added some comments here. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let's just look at this one. So basically, Xing has some concerns. This is Xing has some concerns. I think this person was suggesting to use this ephemeral storage request limit for this Windows size, the Windows default size. Now, I think Xing has some concerns to overload that feature, and basically, it's good for someone who has, who is familiar with Windows to take a look at this, get some feedback. So I don't know if you have a chance to look at this issue.
Sure, I can take a look.
Okay. I don't know if you want to see Mauricio's on the call. All right, I'll just say. All right, thank you. And then Deep, you want to talk about this?
Yeah, thanks. So this is something so this came up while we were experimenting with the Csi provisioning capability that's now available for basically local-based PVs, the distributed provisioner capability. So what we were trying to do was, basically have a CSI plugin that creates local PVs instead of using the static local provisioner that we used to have, and that's still supported completely. So what we found is that like one of the typical usage patterns and something that many of the operational tools on local PVs depend on is this host name label that's applied to the PV right after creation by the static local provisioner. And when going to the CSI path, there's no way for the CSI plugin to tell the provisioner that instead of the stuff in the volume context that's applied to a certain field within the PV object, also apply like a special thing, which would be a label instead of a volume attribute. I was just curious if such a use case has risen up in other scenarios where there would be a preference to add something as a label instead of something in the volume context, and if this is something folks think might be useful overall, to kind of have a CSI plugin be able to specify to the provisioner that when you create the PV, I want like a certain set of key value pairs to be applied as labels instead of contexts.
I think we looked at something similar in the past, and the challenge was, do these labels get applied only once at creation time, or are they, something that is updated? So, for example, if you have like the host name of where the disk is attached, that would need to be updated every time the disk moved, something like that. Ideally, it would be the latter, and that becomes more difficult and more challenging, but seems useful.
Okay, cool. So if this is useful, then I'll probably try to come up with some kind of a CSI spec enhancement and follow up there.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think also when we originally implemented the topology feature, this was also something we considered, I think, to just automatically like apply the topology and the volume as labels. I think the main problem was that topology could be the topology representation could be more complicated than just a single key value label. So I think that's why we kind of left it off originally. But it is sort of a regression compared to the in-tree case.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that was the main use case we could come up with, and we saw like some of our other tooling break a bit when we moved to the new model. But yeah, if there are other use cases, I would love to learn that too and kind of call them out as.
Yeah, for us, like in local volume, we started to label PVs with device that they were on. Like if you created a PV on like, dev SD or something, since those devices can change between reboots, we tried to label them so that we can find out which one was like, especially the by ID fields from the dev disk by IDs, that if the changes, we can still find out what device this P was created from. And it was useful in sort of like finding out which of the devices have already been created PVs for. At least, I don't know if how much same thing is useful in other, like for your case, but for like entry local PVs, it's a useful capability. But in entry, we are creating PVs like inline, we're calling our own function, so it's not as important. But for CSI, yeah, through external provisioner, it will be useful.
Cool. So the device labels are also interesting, and that could be another thing to call out. Thanks.
So Deep, so you're planning to basically propose a change in CSS spec, and so it's like when we create a volume, again create volume. This is
yeah, basically like in the volume response, like have a way for the CSI plugin to maybe specify that beyond context, like have like another set of key value pairs that indicate like it be treated separately as legal.
Okay, another field for this one in the response. I see. All right, so you will be proposing a CSS spec change, right?
Thanks.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, that's it for today then. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thank you.